how did you feel knowing you were pregnant with a 5 months baby at the time? It was kind of 50-50. To be honest with you, we had a pregnancy scare a month before we actually got pregnant. Are you continuing to breastfeed your baby while pregnant? Oh, was I breastfeeding my baby while pregnant? No, not really. I was physically and mentally and emotionally drained. Nobody tells you the struggles of breastfeeding. See, I didn't continue. I can't seem to think of a question on what you to find out, but oh my god. Before I even start, thank you guys so much for engaging in that video. It did really well. You guys, even though you were shocked, I was still shocked. I'm still in shock, but I've gotten over it. But yeah, thank you all for your love, your prayers, your compliments, all the nice things you all said. Okay, so the first question is from Cindy. Hey girl, how are you doing? Cindy is doing amazing on YouTube as well as Instagram. Do follow her. She's been one of my favorite supporters since I started off YouTube, and she always leaves amazing comments and amazing and inspiring feedback. So do support her. She does post consistently. Yes, I do see you post consistently on your shorts as well as on your YouTube platform. So thumbs up for that. Anyone who is starting off YouTube, it is not easy. It's never easy, but as time goes on, you will see progress with your results. And I noticed that you're also seeing progress. I'm talking to you, Cindy, with your results. So I'm glad that at least your content are doing well and you're seeing a bit of growth. Because I feel like when you start seeing a positive side to it and you're growing, it gives you the motivation to continue persist and all that. But yeah, if I can do it, you can do it, and if any of your faves can do it, you can also do it. So yeah, the first question is, how is the journey so far? Is it the same experience with your first, or are there differences? To be honest with you, I feel like it's a bit similar to the first one, although I also feel like Carson was a bit easier. If that makes sense. Casting was just a tiny bit easier when it came to my experience. I was literally still traveling the world when I was like 8 months pregnant with Casting, and I was literally walking all through, and it was an experience. A lot easier. My bump wasn't as big as it is now, even though it's not so big. Let me set up again so you guys can see. This is what we're looking like 38 weeks. I think we're doing good. So yeah, casting in my opinion was just slightly better. In terms of morning sickness, this one was worse because I couldn't even brush my teeth. That's how bad it was. Anytime I'm brushing my teeth and I tried to like scrape my tongue or brush my tongue, I would always it was a routine for me to just like be throwing up every day. To be throwing up every day, and this continued up until I think my second trimester. So it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun, but aside from that, I didn't have any food cravings or food aversions or any the only complication that I had was with my what's it called, hemoglobin level. So it was a bit low at I think during my second trimester. I think that's when I fainted. I talked about it in this vlog right here. I fainted, and it had to do with like my iron level. So I am taking supplements to supplement that as well. But aside from that, there hasn't been any drastic difference. I feel like I still look the same. My skin is glowing the same, just as Carson. Like I didn't break out at all. You inspire me so much. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Deja. Gender, please. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wouldn't you love to know? Wouldn't you love to know? So I'm thinking I might do, I don't know how, I want to do like a gender reveal, but I want it to be nothing too serious. I don't know if there's a test I can take or something, a game that we could play or something. If you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comment section. Is this pregnancy easier than your first? I think I answered this question. It is slightly, I want to say it's the same thing, but it's slightly harder, just a little bit slightly harder, but nothing too extra that I feel like there is much of a difference. Okay, say, how did you feel knowing you were pregnant with a 5 months baby at the time? I mean, I think it was kind of obvious. If you had seen this video where I did the live test, to be honest with you, right, I feel like there were a lot of emotions running through me. It was kind of 50-50. It was something that I wanted, or we wanted, because we wanted, obviously, we did not want it, we would have taken proper precaution. Because to be honest with you, we had a pregnancy scare a month before we actually got pregnant. And I remember I was so happy, and I did a test and it came out negative, and I was dancing. And my husband was like, "Oh, really? You're dancing?" I'm like, "Yeah." But then the next month again, we had the same symptoms. I did a test and it came out positive. So I wouldn't say it wasn't something we didn't want, but it was something that we weren't 100% prepared for. But it was something that we were open to, because to be honest with you, if I did not want it at all, we would have just locked up and all that, which is what we're going to be doing this time around, because we need to plan. If not, I don't know what's going to happen to me. So after this one, I know that I'm not ready for another one immediately, right? I want to take like maybe 2 years minimum away from, giving birth and pregnancy and all that. So I was a bit nervous and anxious, but I was also like excited, like, oh, we're doing this again. Like, so I was nervous, I was shaking, and I was also excited. Does that make sense? How to get a trustworthy adult as a help or a nanny for your kids. I'm scared, but I need one. To be honest with you, this is one of the things I feared the most when it came to Carson, was getting a help. If you're if you're a full-time mom and you feel like you can handle it yourself, feel free. But if you have maybe 1 or 2 kids or 3 kids, and you have a job and you're doing something on the side and you still want your personal time, it is good to get help if you can. If you can't get help from your family, your mom, I got help from my mom for, I want to say, for months, for like maybe even 8 months. Thumbs up to having a Nigerian mom, an African mom who, I mean, mothers are amazing. So she stuck by me for a while. We were guilt tripping her to keep on coming back. And she did. I'm so grateful for that. Also got a nanny. So in terms of getting someone who is trustworthy, I definitely want to say that just forget your fears. Most times when you are scared of something, that's when it actually happened. I remember when I was looking for a nanny for Kasim, it was something that I was scared about, because at that time, I think there were a lot of trendy videos about how nannies would kidnap a child, how they would kill a child, how they would maltreat a child. And for some funny reasons, I don't know why, it was when I was looking for one that, I kept on seeing all those things. And my mom would literally be sending me tons and tons of all those content, and I would be scared. But I told myself that, like, this can never happen to me, and it will never happen to me, because it's not the kind of energy I want, and I don't need that. So don't be scared to source for someone. And if you are sourcing for someone, my best advice for you is to get someone who has more perspective than you, to maybe interview the person. So in my case, I had my mom and my elder sister interview all the candidates for Carson's nanny, basically. So the people that applied for a nanny, I had my sister and my mom interviewed them. Definitely use an agency. I'll leave the agency that I use for mine over here so you guys can check it out. Shout out to Nowhere for recommending them to me, and I've been using the same person since, and I don't want to say I trust the person, but I'm in that comfortable space that I know that this person genuinely loves my child, and my child genuinely loves this person. And that's the most important thing. And the person is also God-fearing. The person is a Christian. So depending on what your preference is, if you want the person to be a Muslim, a Christian, or whatever religion you are, that's the first thing in my mind. Just have the fear of God. Once the person has the fear of God, then every other thing will kind of fall in place. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. The person, my nanny, is not perfect. They do have their shortcomings, but you have to weigh, the good and the bad. And if the bad ultimately outweighs the good, then don't be scared to get rid and get someone else, right? Being God-fearing is the ultimate, because that would kind of put the person in a space whereby they can make decisions based on, how they feel and what they believe, and that would affect how they treat your child. So that was one thing that was very important to me. So I mean, I was definitely lucky on that path. I was definitely lucky on that path, but don't be scared to try. And if you feel like it's not a good fit, or you see something and you start having doubts, listen to your doubts and your mind and how you're feeling, and take actions immediately. Don't second guess yourself. So, not a question, but you look super gorgeous and I love you. I love you too. Thank you so much. You're making me blush. Can you have a class for new content creator? Maybe a webinar. I do have online courses for new content creators, especially new YouTubers, focused on new YouTubers who create content using their mobile devices, people who are trying to start off and scale up, as well as set up their YouTube channel on a budget using their mobile phone. I do have an entire program dedicated to that. I'll leave the link here and in the description box. But if you mean like a free class, definitely we can arrange that once baby's out. Once baby's out, so maybe next month or next 2 months, we can definitely do that as well. But I do have free resources on my channel, so feel free to check them out if you're yet to. You really look beautiful this time. Team baby girl, love from Imo State. Amen. Oh, I tap into your prophecy. Is it okay to change a hair and beauty YouTube channel to a faith Christian based channel? Yes, it is. It is okay to do absolutely anything you want to do with your channel. It is okay to change your interests. Look at me. I mean, yesterday, and technically not yesterday, but like last 2 years, I was doing single content, hair, beauty, makeup, but then life happened. And with life happening, changes also happen ultimately. So you need to adopt and adapt with those changes and be able to incorporate that into what you're doing. So personally for me, I am a mother, right? And I'm also a wife. But I'm also someone who's trying to build and grow up a very sustainable career, right? So I'm trying to mix all these things together with creating valuable content for you guys to see. So yeah, if you feel like your interest changes over time, feel free to adjust with that, because that's the only way you will be sustainable in what you're doing. That's the only way you be doing what you're doing for a long term. Because if you're doing something that you genuinely don't enjoy doing, you wouldn't last. You probably give up and lose interest in that. So if you feel like you're growing and your interests are diversifying, feel free to go with it and see where that leads. So hi mom, this is not a question. I just want you to know that I admire you. Thank you so much. Would you advise a family to move to Lagos and live there? I need to ask, what is your reason for moving to Lagos? You need to ask yourself what that reason is. I can't advise you based on what you've just given, because if your reason is to grow a family or to build a healthy or religious family, there are other states across Nigeria that you can't do that. So you need to ask yourself, what would be your ultimate goal or focus for moving to Lagos? Lagos is a place where I feel like you can achieve your dreams, but it's also a place where your dreams can die and you can get frustrated at the same time. So ask yourself, what is your ultimate goal for moving? It is a lot stressful, it is frustrating, but at the same time, there are pros and cons. At the same time, there are a lot of opportunities. So if you feel like you want to move to Lagos, you want to hustle, make more money, get more opportunities, meet more people, network more, and maybe send your kids to better schools, then yeah, that could be a potential reason to move. But if your reasons are, far from that, then you need to reconsider, why you're moving at all. So how are you feeling about your second pregnancy? I'm feeling excited because let me not say anything. But I'm feeling excited. I feel like we're gonna have fun. I feel like I'm going to have some ups and down moments, but I'm kind of looking forward to the ups, most especially. I feel like this is going to be a year of, I don't know, but I stepped into this year feeling so blessed, feeling so optimistic, feeling so motivated to do more. And that's why I've been filming content with this pregnancy, and I feel like I'm going to be more consistent now than prior to this. But I just have this burst of energy and burst of motivation and burst of light and burst of positivity. So I am feeling amazing, and that's me being 100% honest. And I'm glowing as well. So, not a question, but I admire you a lot. May God grant you safe delivery. Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that. Thank you so much for that word of prayer. I can't seem to think of a question on what you to find out, but oh my God. We love compliments like this. Just keep it coming. Just be busting my head. How did you focus so much on you? How did you focus so much on you? I'm 21 and I'm currently trying to build myself. Put yourself first. I don't know who else you should be focusing on if not yourself, except you have kids, then makes sense. But put yourself first in everything you do. Everyone else can come second, third, fourth. You are the most important person in a room or wherever you are. So kind of in whatever decisions you're making about yourself, about your life, about your journey, you need to think about if this is something that would benefit you, and if it is something that would take you from point A to point B in your life and in your journey. So me, everybody is selfish, to be honest with you. And if you're not being selfish with yourself, it means that you're giving your energy to somebody else and you're forgetting yourself. And if you're forgetting yourself, it means that nobody is focusing on you. Because again, like I said, everybody's out here, like, I'm doing things that will benefit me, but at the same time now I have dependence. So I'm now focusing on my babies and trying to make time for myself. But yeah, build yourself first, focus on yourself, prioritize yourself. No question, I admire you a lot. Keep doing you, mama. Regards to Carson. Thank you so much. Kisses. Are you continuing to breastfeed your baby while pregnant? Oh, was I breastfeeding my baby while pregnant? No, not really. I stopped breastfeeding Carson at 6 months because I was physically and mentally and emotionally drained. Nobody tells you the struggles of breastfeeding. See, it is hard. It is hard mentally, physically, emotionally, waking up midnight to pump, to breastfeed, and you're doing it like 5, 6, 7 times a day, and you're trying to eat, and like at that time all I could think of was eat, pump, eat, pump, eat, pump, eat, pump. And when my supply started declining, I started feeling bad. I remember I bought a lot of things, a lot of breastfeeding enhancement supplements, all of that. They worked for a short time, but then after a while it just stopped working, and my supply started reducing. And like I just said, you know what, I've tried, I'm going to do this to 6 months, and that's the end. So yeah, I mean, it was a trying time for me, but fingers crossed, I hope that this journey is going to be a lot better than Carson's own. But so far so good. I didn't continue. No questions. You're beautiful. You glow with every pregnancy. Congratulations. I love that. Thank you so much. You guys are just giving it to me hot, hot. I love the compliments. I just love this for you and how graceful you look. No questions and best wishes. Oh, you guys are just, I'm not going to be emotional. Scared my body would change when I'm pregnant. Hobbs wants a baby. I want to, but terrified. You make it look too easy. Let me tell you, I was the most terrified person with Carson, but it was something that I knew that I wanted, right? Even though it came unawares. Being a mom, not just being pregnant. Being pregnant is just step one of the journey. Motherhood is all about selflessness. You're thinking of yourself last. So whether you're thinking of your body, your time, your resources, your finances, your mental health, none of that is about you. It's about the little human being that you're about to bring into this world, you know. So if your body is the biggest concern right now, I'm gonna tell you that, yeah. That's probably going to be the least of your worries. Your time, sweetheart. Nobody tells you about this, but your time. You have no time for yourself. And for you to even get back your body, you need that time to spend on yourself and self care and all that. So you are doing something extraordinary. You are like a human being is literally inside my tummy now. If I decide to cut my tummy open and bring the baby out, like the baby will be perfect because we are now like full term. So the baby will be perfect. Like it would be like a full grown baby and healthy baby. And sometimes I remember when I saw Cassie like come out of me and they brought him out and he was standing. I'm like, what? I'll leave the video here. I'm like, wait, did you mean this human being, like this fully, like he had everything complete? He had hair, he had eyes, nose, hands, legs were so long. You mean this human being was living inside of me? And to think about that, it is extraordinary. You know, you born with a baby, you're gonna have some lumps and bumps along the way, especially the first trimester, the first 3 to 5 months. But yeah, it's not about pregnancy, sweetheart. It's about motherhood. What happens after you get pregnant and you give birth? That's gonna be your reality. Nobody tells you about that. So yeah, if you think you're ready to bring a human being into the world, then feel free to, you know, try that out. But you have to be mentally, physically, emotionally ready, also financially ready at the same time. And every other thing would work out this itself as time goes on, to be honest with you. Your body, you can easily have so many things you can do with your body nowadays. So, you know. Hi, any advice on how to niche down on YouTube? I'll probably do a separate video on YouTube about niching down and finding your niche. But to be honest with you, just focus on your interests, worry less about the niche and all that, blah blah blah. Just do what you want to do and what you want to share and focus on that. Every other thing would, you will discover it along the way, because most times you find out that, okay, I love makeup, I love tech, I love God, I love sharing God's word, I love babies, I love, you know, all those things, I love cooking. So when you start doing all those things, you discover that, okay, I have more interest in cooking than in makeup, and then you focus more on it. Because a lot of people started doing makeup and all that. Now the interests have been diversified into different things and focused on maybe one or two things. So grow with it. Don't feel like you need to start off and you know exactly what you need to do. Just start off, make mistakes, learn from mistakes, grow with it. Okay? No question, but she looks so good being pregnant. Oh, na na na. Uh. Thank you so much. Don't mind me, but this is making me feel good. How's Cassin doing? Is he going to be the most caring brother? I mean, honestly, I do not know. I know that he's going to play a lot with his sibling, with the new baby, because he plays a lot. He's full of life. He laughs a lot. He's just a ball of joy. I mean, he's so happy, as in there's so much joy oozing out of him, that is sometimes like I'm like, where did you get this from, you know? So I know that he's going to be playful, probably loving, I'm hoping, you know, but I'll see how it goes, because now he's still a baby. You can't really tell his personality now, because he doesn't even know his personality, but I could see that he's so full of life, he's so outspoken, and he's so energetic, and he's so joyful. That one I know for sure. And congratulations. Please, do you diet during pregnancy? You look amazing. I don't know what diet is. I've never dieted. No, I did not diet. I feel like it's more of genetics. It's how my body is. Actually, I eat a lot of sweet things, a lot of junks, a lot of ice cream. Let me tell you, my husband would buy ice cream and popcorn almost every day, and you know, so it's more about genetics and less about like dieting and all that. How are you, Mama? How do you feel? How is the baby kicking? How is my son Carson? Where do I even start? I'm fine. I feel amazing. The baby's kicking well. Carson is doing amazing as well. How does it feel being a second time mom or a mom for the second time? I don't know. I feel like it's going, I don't know how it feels yet until the baby's out, but I feel like it's going to be amazing. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to be positive, but I feel like I'm going to have my hands full. I see people when they're like, stop there, stop that, don't do that, climb out, come out from there. And the fact that their age is so close, I feel like it's going to be a lot worse because they will just be like best friends and doing things together and scattering together, and no one is going to be able to control the other because they're like literally 1 year apart. So it's going to be a funny journey. Do you think you added more weight than your previous birth? So let's calculate together, right? Before we conceived Carson, that's after our marriage, I weighed 58 kg. I know. I weighed 58 kg, and I remember this because while we are on our honeymoon, I did weigh myself, and I remember it was 58 on the dot. Then after we conceived Carson, after Carson's birth, I was weighing about 65 kg. So that was my new weight. So I put on about 7 kg more after Carson. And then now, as of last week, I weighed myself. I was weighing 74, right? 74. So I went from 65 to 74, meaning I've put on let's say 9 kg so far, and we're not done yet. I feel like before the end of this I'm gonna be like 75, maybe before I give birth. But then when you do give birth, you lose about 4 kg, so I'm sure I'm gonna go back to 70, right? But 70 is not the goal, 65 is the goal. I need to go back to 65. I love how we're looking now, to be honest with you. I want to be a size 8. I want to be a full size 8. That way I can look mature. That way when they see me, they'll be like, okay, that's him, that's his mom. I don't look like a child. Okay, so in your early 20s, did you feel pressure to go out and live a particular lifestyle? No, I've never, you cannot pressure me. I've never been pressured. I don't want to be pressured. I'm not easily influenced, and I'm not easily pressured. I grew up in a household of the knowledge of being content and being disciplined, if that makes sense. And we learned that from my dad and my mom, obviously, and a lot from my sister as well. My sister was like my mini mom. So, I was comfortable enough to have all that I needed. But in terms of living a particular lifestyle, I think I get what you mean. Do I feel like I had the pressure to go out? No, I didn't have restrictions with going out. So I could go out, but it wasn't like I wanted to be on the streets 24/7 because honestly, I'm very introverted. I'm someone who just loves to stay at home. If there's light, there's food, there's water, there's internet, I'm good. Outside is not really, doesn't excite me like that, if that makes sense. If you know me, you know this, and you know this. If you know me, you know this. I'm always inside. So no, I didn't feel any pressure. I also think it's part of my personality, so I wouldn't say, because some people are extroverted and they love to be outside, and because it's exciting, new experiences. But I like my comfort and I like my home, so I didn't feel any pressure. And even if I did, I don't think I can't be influenced and I can't be pressured. That's just me. So I'm gonna take the last question so that this video doesn't get too lengthy. How were you able to balance work, wifey, as well as motherhood duties? Congratulations. I guess I was able to do that because I had a good support system, I guess. So I had my mom that usually comes over frequently. I have a full-time living nanny. My husband's around. I do have like family that live around me. So it was kind of easy to be flexible with living my life and doing my thing and being able to mix things up as well. So I guess that's how I was able to deal with that. Mostly support. At this point, if you can get support, please do. No matter how little it is, it helps a lot, and it helps with freeing your hands a little bit more. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna read some of the questions that I got from you guys on YouTube, and it says, "Congratulations, Kelechi. I'm not married or anything, but I want to ask how is Carson? He can't express himself much, but is he bonding with the bump, or is he just indifferent?" I feel like he is indifferent, although there are some moments where he's on my bump and he's like playing with it. I'll probably put some videos here. I recorded it because it was so cute. He was playing with it. I don't think he knows or is aware of what's happening. He's just 1 year old, so he himself is a baby. He does not understand or comprehend what's happening yet. But I don't know, maybe he is, but I want to believe that he doesn't understand to the fullest. So he's just normal, I guess. Congratulations, Kelechi. Do a video on how you were able to still look beautiful and maintain a good weight while pregnant, because your skin is amazing and you look so good. It's obvious you eat right and maintain a good habit. Oh, you people have so much. You have such high hopes for me. Like the way people place me, I mean, I'm loving it. But I don't think I had any. Um, I don't. I want to say most of like my physical attributes are due to genetics, I guess. I don't think I had like a healthy eating habit because I ate a lot of junk. Like I said previously, I had a lot of ice cream, a lot of junk, but I also balanced it with like a lot of veggies, a lot of salads as well. And I usually typically eat twice a day, to be honest with you. So it wasn't like I was eating 5 times a day, or I know people do have cravings and all that. I didn't have cravings, so I guess that helped me. So it wasn't like I was craving to eat something every second. So I would eat once in the morning and then later on in the evening, because it will be so hard for me to for my body to digest the whole food. So I'll probably eat a snack in between and then eat like my main meal later on. But yeah, that's basically how it is. I don't think I had a good habit or was on a diet or anything. I was living my life to the fullest. If you give me burger, I will eat that. I literally ordering for pizza. I was ordering for burger. My husband was bringing this, bringing that, bringing that. So if you guys think I'm on any journey, no, I was living my life to this fullest. I owe it all to God and to genetics, I guess. Congratulations, Kelechi. Children are beautiful, but taking care of them can be quite overwhelming. How do you intend on going about it? Do you get overwhelmed when the thought crosses your mind? Yes, and yes, and yes. Or what I always say is that God would never give you what you cannot handle. And every situation that you're in, it has been done and dealt with, if that makes sense. So everything that happens in your life is very intentional, and I'm very particular about that. Last, we'll get through it no matter what, right? We'll get through it and we'll look back and be laughing and be like, oh, we did that. Oh yeah, we did that. But yeah, I'm a bit scared. I wouldn't even lie. I feel like they might consume me and my personal time and my personal space. But I'm going to learn from the experience and learn from other people's experience and take other people's advice, but also try to create time for myself and create a balance as well. So yeah, I don't want to be consumed or overwhelmed. I want to thrive and survive and overcome. So yeah, it's all about being intentional. It's one thing to say it and then it's another thing to practice it. So I want to be intentional this year and take steps and create a routine, create a lifestyle. So if it's like 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. we're all having our bath and shower. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. we're reading a book. From 11 a.m. to something, you're doing like playtime with the kids, and you can focus on yourself and then make a meal or something. it's just about learning. I can't say for now this is what I'm going to do because I'm not in that situation now. But when I get to that situation, I know that I'm going to struggle for the first maybe couple of days or months or weeks, right? But with experiencing such a thing, you will learn and then say, okay, this is how this is. This is how this is. Let's do this instead, so that way we can make room for this. Does that make sense? So if the babies sleep at this time, why can't we do this at this time, at the same time? If the babies are sleeping, let's film a content, let's cook, let's do something, let's hire someone to help clean, or delegate if we can, or have someone come and help us, or life will just give you learning curves that you can learn from as time goes on. But yeah, I feel like this video is going to be super lengthy and I'm going to end it right here. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to read all your comments. A huge thanks to each and every one of you for sending in your questions and for engaging and for all your compliments and your nice words. You're making me blush and I love it. But thank you guys so much for interacting and for making this journey fun. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you're yet to subscribe, definitely feel free to subscribe. It is free, it is fun, and it is a positive space on here. And again, I'll leave my playlist over here so you guys can check them out. The videos are going to be over here so you can check them out in case you haven't watched any of my previous videos that I talked about. I'll leave them here. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, make sure you stay fabulous and you stay blessed. Hugs, kisses, and plenty loves. Bye.